For many of us, we may not feel that cold calling is part of how to secure referrals, but for many health professionals and all of us in some way, shape, or form, we do actually need to call some referrals at times, some more so than others, to actually secure those appointments. Maybe they've come from the doctors, maybe they've come from specialists, maybe they've come from a workplace, etc. But the feel around how to actually pick up the phone, call that referral, and actually secure them as a client so you can help them out is actually quite daunting. It's something that many people struggle with. And the great news is there's a lot of rights and wrongs that are very easily put into place to make sure that you don't sound like a used car salesman, so that you aren't actually having to sell. And if you get that right, which is very simple to do, you can make sure that you set everything up in the right way for the right reason. So jump in right now and make sure that you don't go into the salesy, horrible feel of cold calling, and instead you can make sure that everything is placed to best help the person out, secure those referrals, and help them out first and foremost, but help your business and team out as well.
How does everyone go about when you're calling a cold lead? The first sentence you use, is it something like, "Hi, this is Matt from MK Movement. Am I speaking with?" Or do you guys have like a little bit more of an inviting first line?
Give me a context.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
Very fine with hi. Yeah.
So for the context would be, we get...
You're ringing a referral or someone who's been referred, or a potential JV, or what?
Okay, so we get a lot of our EPC, Medicare referrals emailed to us with their phone number.
Right, okay.
And we normally take the first... Yeah, we normally call them first, because they just... If we don't call them, then they just sort of never call us.
Okay, cool. And there is actually a lot of people in that situation. We don't sort of work that way with our clinic ourselves. We don't sort of have it that way. They've been given the referral. They know they should call. They haven't called. The doctor's sent them across saying, please call. I sort of feel that's a bit like ambulance chasing in some respects. Like it's not, but it's, the person hasn't actually had their own responsibility to call us. The doctors told us to call them, and I sort of go, you know, we're flat out with everything. I don't really feel the need to chase people if they don't even want to change or want the help, type of scenario. So that's how I mean, you know, like if they're not willing to actually put their hand up and make a phone call saying, hey, you know what, I need help. I've been told this 15 times in the last 4 years from a doctor. Finally, I'll come and do the following. But if you are going to do that, that's completely fine as well, dude. So don't, you know, that's no dramas with that. So the question you're actually then asking is, how do you start that conversation? I think Joe started off perfectly. Hi, how are you? If the guy's name's, let's go with Joe, because Joe answered it before. If it's Joe, it's just like, you know, I'll be literally saying, hi, Joe, is it? Right? Because they're going to probably think it's some telemarketer, or it's, you know, they've lost a long lost Nigerian uncle that's ringing up that wants your credit card details to deposit $32 million into a trust fund and blah, blah, blah type of thing, right? Yeah. So you've got to make sure that you break that paradigm first and foremost. I wouldn't be going with, hi, it's Matt from MK Movement, because they're going to think, what, some bloke selling a website.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because they always introduce going, oh, I had one the other day turning around saying, you know, hi, my name is whatever it is, and I'm not calling from overseas. And I'm like, I'm sorry? And that's literally how the guy started. He goes, we're actually in Melbourne. We're a development company, and, you know, started talking. And I'm like, mate, it's the same thing. I'm not interested in that, right? So I would actually start with making it about them and having a bit of fun with them, because otherwise they're just going to be completely disengaged. You're going to be going, salesperson selling something IT-wise. So I'd be just going straight in with, hi, is that Joe, is it? Because if you make it too formal and go, is that the owner of MK Movement, Matthew? It's transactional. It's sales and marketing.
Yeah.
Some dodgy cold, right? But if you just turn around and go, hey, is that Matt? Is that Matt that I've got on the phone right now?
Yeah. And normally they go, yep, and then they go, speaking. That's the next one.
Who's this? And you just go,
yep.
And if that's what most of the time they'll say, like they say to me, go, hey, is that the owner of such and such a corporation? Or is that Jason from such and such a group? And I'm like, who's this? I don't even say yes anymore. I say, who's this? Because a lot of the time I get a lot of my stuff screened by my EA. So you don't actually get to me first up, right? So assume that you're going to get some of that as well. And if they say, who's this? Or yes, who's calling or whatever, just literally have I'd probably right now in this, how it is right now, I'd turn around and actually have some fun with it and go, the good news is I've been asked to call you. I'm not overseas and I'm not selling anything. So that's good news. So you don't need a website. Don't panic. Right now, everyone on this call is sitting there smiling, laughing, going, yeah, like that's what you want. You want people to smile and laugh and want to be on the phone call. Remember a conference a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about that with magic tricks, the magic trick session that we did, right? So much of this is about getting people to at least smile or have a bit of a smirk. Something you've said in the first, minute is humorous or it's fun, right? If people are walking in and they're frowning, they're, folding their arms and they, you can tell who's got Botox or not based on who can actually frown and that type of stuff. And if their face can't move, you think, she's got too many jabs in her forehead this month and all these type of things, right? You don't want people in that situation. You want to be able to know that people are going to smile. People are going to laugh. I would have a straight bit of fun with them in that scenario.
Yep.
Who's this? Well, it's actually Matt from MK Movement. Whatever, Dr. Smith told me to give you a call personally. So don't panic, man. I'm not trying to sell your website from India, okay? Now all of a sudden, same thing. All you guys are smiling and going, yep. Like all of a sudden, you've been personable. You've got them to smile. You've spoken about why you're there. You've been told to call from their doctor. And a lot of the time, it's been their doctor for 10 or 20 years. So when you say Dr. Muhammad has told me to personally give you a call, they'll sit up and listen because that's a person of authority, a person they trust. And then you have that bit of fun about, I'm not calling from India and I'm not trying to sell your website. So don't panic, right? It's that bit of fun. And all of a sudden they're relaxed, their guard's down. And then from there, I turn around and say, so Dr. Smith has said, has spoken to me. He's sent me some paperwork and all. And I've got all the details here around, your whatever, your diabetes management and or whatever, right? And we've had a good chat. You don't have to say he rang me and that. You don't have to lie about things. But I turn around and say, I've got a good amount of detail here now about what we need to do. He's made it really clear to me what he's wanting us to be able to help you with. So let me ask you a couple of questions right now, if that's okay. All right, so that I can help you best. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, perfect.
Right, exactly what they say. Yeah, perfect. Or sure. You've assumed authority and trust, and you've got it because you've come from that trusted source.
Awesome, mate. That's
my same sentence, so that I can help you best. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of quick questions? Because I think what most people do is they ring up and they say, hey, we've got this form. I'm calling from blah, 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 and I've got this form. And your doctor's told me that, you need to come and see us for your diabetes. So I'm going to look to book you an appointment. All of a sudden, it's transactional. All of a sudden, it feels clunky. It feels salesy. I might not be selling your website, but I'm still selling, aren't I? Whereas when you take the opposite approach and you just go, hey, and you have a bit of fun with that first 4 seconds, 6 seconds, Maddie, so that I can help you out best, is it okay if I ask you a couple of quick questions? They say yes. You go, great. So talk me through this. I just want to know from you, how's your weight and your blood pressure and that going lately? How have you been in the last few days? It's been a couple of days since I've spoken with Dr. Smith. how have you been over the last few days, mate? Ask a personal question about them. You know, just pick one or two questions. It's almost, you don't even have to ask specific questions that are going to give you more information. It's more just make it about them. Right? And then just move to, hey, you know what we need to do? I want to catch up with you face to face. I want to be able to show you some things, and I want to be able to directly help you out with that. All right? They'll be like, yep. They keep accepting, moving all the way through it. And then you go through to that scenario saying, all right, here's how it's going to work. I'm going to do the following for you. I'm going to do this, this, and this. All I need you to do is come and see us down at the clinic. All right? Now, are you a morning person, Matt, or are you an afternoon person? Which one suits you best, morning or afternoon?
Morning.
Morning, fantastic, great. What time, what else do you do during the week? Do you play bowls? Do you do golf? Do you play tennis? Do you play poker? What else do you like to do? And they'll tell you that they do such and such on a Wednesday morning and a Friday morning and blah, blah, blah. Go, great. So I reckon it's probably going to suit you best if you see me on either Tuesday morning next week or Thursday morning. Which one suits you, Tuesday or Thursday?
Option A, option B, yeah.
Correct. No yes or no's, yeah. Option A and option B. But you've already spent, 90 seconds or 2 minutes on the phone knowing more about them. You've premised everything in the same, like you've got that trust, you've got that authority, you've assumed that control. And as a net result, similar to what we're talking about with Jesse and stuff before, you're going to be able to take a lot of that control and that type of stuff. So yeah, I think that works really well. And as a net result, you will have people eating out of the palm of your hand. You'll have 100% conversion rate. And when you jump off the phone, put some notes in there about what days they play golf, or they go and do poker or whatever it is. Or, hey, I'll do Tuesday because my wife goes down for an 11 o'clock hairdresser appointment every Tuesday morning, which is what a lot of oldies do if that's the demographic of the appointment, right? Now, all of a sudden, when they walk in for the first time, right, this is all the magic trick stuff we spoke about. Now, all of a sudden, you know them better than they know themselves. You walk in and you go, hey, Baz, how you going? Come in. Did your wife get to a hairdresser appointment okay this morning? Yes. Oh, bloody hell. She goes every week. And all of a sudden, you're like the best friend. Because you already know 2 or 3 key parts, right? So you can talk about their interests. You can talk about their sport, whatever it is. Now that's awesome, that relationship. You've got those things happening before you've even walked into the consult room for the initial assessment. They like you, they trust you, you've got authority, and whatever you say and do, they're going to do. Accountability's there, responsibility's there. You've got the pathway and the journey happening. Guess what? You're going to get great results for them. They're going to tell their friends. Everything's going to move forward. This is customer experience 101. All from a cold call of a referral that came through on an email or fax, or if they even have normal faxes anymore, right?
Yeah, so simple, but you're exactly right, man. Yeah, cool. I'll give some training to my team member as well. And
absolutely. And if you need to, get him to reach out and grab some of the stuff off the membership side and that as well.
Yeah.
Training on some of the call script stuff. And we haven't done any of that within conference and that for a while. But yeah, more than happy to put more back onto that training side of things for team members as well in the weeks ahead, and that if you need to for you guys. Okay?
Chase, is this can we get a copy of today's recording? Is that possible?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. No, because it was just the good things with Jesse that you spoke about that I want to re-listen again, if possible, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Thanks for answering.
Pleasure, man. Go and get stuck into that because it's really simple. And I always say it's very simple. It is. There's a model for everything we do. There's scripts, there's the words, phrases, all those things work perfectly. It's not always easy because, once every 6 or 8, you'll get a curly question, come back and that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, if 4 out of 5 phone calls run this way, you pick up more conversions, you pick up better relationships, you do everything for the right reason, you make people belong, you get more from them first up, you get a better relationship and rapport, and you get better success every single time, better client outcomes. And guess what? Your business then also grows. Your team members grow. Like it's a win-win-win. So it's maybe not always easy, but it's absolutely simple. Okay. Sweet. Good man. Great question. Glad I could help. Hey guys, thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Profitable Practice Podcast.
I would love nothing more than for you to be able to leave a review. I get so much joy out of listening and reading the amazing things that you guys say about this. So please subscribe to our channel, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Let's get some more fantastic information out there so all of us can grow the industry together. Cheers for now.